I'm live. All right, that's good. Good. Whatever, right? All right, prop that up a little bit so we can get the angle a little better. I guess it's better if I stick it under here. Actually, hopefully that thing don't fall out and hit me in the head. Though it may. I mean, you know, you can't get them all right. It's just the way it is. I got a big old piece of bark today that I'm going to be messing with, playing with, whatever you want to call it. Whatever it means to you. So here's what I got. I mean, this is like a large, really large piece. And in the middle of this really large piece, I want to carve a cardinal. That might seem like kind of a waste because there's a lot of space in here that you could do a lot of neat stuff with this. But I don't care. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to carve a cardinal in the middle of it. And, you know, shame on me if it's a waste. How about that? Hey, Michael S. super fan, Dad, Billy Shoemate, baby kisses. What's going on? Heck yeah, glad to see you guys. Hope you're doing good. But I got this big piece out, and I just thought, hey, I'll pop in here. And I wanted to last night, and I didn't get to. And I thought, and I've been carving like crazy out there in the shanty. I mean, I'm just trying to work on big stuff, and for about the next 2 weeks, really. I'm working on big stuff, but I want to do some of this little stuff too. And I kind of would like to have some really neat standout pieces like this, big long pieces, and see how they go. Hey Ray, what's going on? Glad to see you. Heck yeah. So we'll see. I'm trying to pop what I can pop first because I know a lot of this is going to be flying off anyway, you know, so it can't hurt to dig some of that off there. And I don't know. That's pretty stiff there, so I guess we're just going to kind of have to see. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bird probably from here to here. You know, long tail. And I'm not even sure how I want to do him. If I want to do him sideways, tail all the way down there. Because they got long tails in reality. And, you know, usually chainsaw carving, we don't, at least I don't, you know, really represent the tails right, you know, because their tails are actually really long. But I guess to get started, I probably ought to just go ahead and buff all that down in that section. Pick the section out and buff all that out of it. And we'll go from there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn this thing on real quick. And we'll go from there. But I'm looking forward to it. I made 2 different bears today. I made a heart bear. And that'd be the second heart bear I made. And then I made this little tiny bear cub. It's like a 2.5 foot piece where he's standing on a rock. It's over shell. It just came out really cool. I really liked it. You know, that said, you can't really imagine it if you don't see it. Let's go ahead and get this thing going. For starters, I'm going to get it lined out. And I don't see zooming in all that much. Maybe a little bit. So I'm thinking, like I said, I'm thinking here to here. That'd be kind of in the middle. So let's go ahead and draw this in there. A little bit at a time, right? And hit the like button if you hadn't already. I sure appreciate that. Okay, so we'll put a cardinal in here. Start up here. It's kind of a general idea of the head. Yeah, well, you could imagine that, though, right? Okay. Get that crown. The more crown I give it, the more it'll stand out, right? Good. Next, I'm going to give it a little more. For now, I can always correct it later. Don't mean I'll stick with this drawing necessarily. That's kind of a guideline. Help me get this figured out. I don't know if I want to do legs or not yet, but I know I'm going to give him a pretty long tail. And I made him bigger than I meant to, didn't I? So I can dig him down into here. That'll work out all right. So let's start on him. It's going to be big, isn't he? Okay. Let me get some goggles on him. Really, I'm looking at him, and I just think I made him too long. But I also think that I can adjust him. Right now. How we doing on there? The view pretty good? Okay, yeah, not too bad. Be sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. You can tell when it's got me thinking when I'm quiet. You know what I mean? That's the way it goes. But that's just the way it is. Just got to keep going, though. That's it. If you haven't hit the like button already. I mean, he's coming out of there pretty good. Looking pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with it. Not too bad, not too good. Let's see who we got. Hey, T-Bird Stacking. What's going on, buddy? Tim Les. Ray. We got Ray. Michael S. Superfan. Baby Kisses. Glad to see you guys. Yeah, if you haven't hit the like already, be sure to hit it. Yeah, I keep digging away at this thing. win your burr, and I go from there. Appreciate you guys being in here. Hey, 28 likes. Hey, Matthew, what's going on? Susie Q, Rhinestone, Suzanne, glad to see you. Heck yeah, we got Michael S, super fan, baby kisses. Billy Shoemate, the ice cream man, stop me when I'm passing by. And Tim, hey, what's going on, man? Anyway, y'all hit the like, and we'll keep digging this guy out. He's looking pretty cute. I can't complain, but let's see, 23 minutes. Yeah, I figured he'd take about an hour. I don't know. We'll see. He might not take that long, but he might take that long. But I'm planning on giving him a good bit of detail, or trying to. Actually, I think I could probably pull in a little more. There we go. Okay. Man, that's a waste of chocolate bar. I don't know. Might be. No, I'm alright with it. Come out pretty good. That's like defining him pretty well. Like I said, if you have not hit the like button already, handle hard. what brings the bird out, you know, what comes right down. How is that? Are you able to see it? Yeah, you're able to see it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. This is the one I already had checked up. It's KUTZALL fine detail burr. You can get these through Rhinestone Suzanne Henderson's link, also through Perry the Carbon Wizard. They're KUTZALL affiliates. And so you can get the products through them. All right, I'm going to get this little guy plugged in. I got 3 of these, and they're all ready to go. They got something else. just so big. It's such a big piece. You know, just kind of wrangling with that part of it. I got and see how it comes out. If I don't like it, I can always buff it off. He's looking pretty cool all along. Tell you what, I'm gonna switch over to this one for a minute and see if I can get that, because those should be big feathers. I'm gonna switch back to this one. Everybody's enjoying this so far. He's looking pretty cool. I mean, that's a pretty big piece. That's it. Hit the like if you haven't already. that's looking good. Guys like that. That's looking pretty cool, I think. All right, yeah, so far so good. I think that come out pretty daggone good. All right. Before I do these, I'm gonna go ahead and do this to these. think that wing detail is just really nice. I really like it. Doing that, I wonder if I can zoom in a little more. Custom switch. eyeball, and then I was contemplating whether I want to give him feed or not. But we'll go from there. Here, I'll zoom out just a little bit. It's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So that'll be the next thing. I just got to determine if I'm going to give him some feet here, what we're going to do. And, you know, I don't really need to, but at the same time, it'd be kind of cool. I don't know. So, is that too big? That's definitely too big. So, I think I'm going to go with this tiny one for a pupil, and then come in with that one and kind of make it look like the whatever they call that thing that's around the eye. I can't remember what it's called. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. Not too bad, not too good. Somewhere in the middle. Right on there where you can see it? Yeah, okay. Well, I centered it over it, but I pushed it too hard. So now I got to come back with that other one and clean that up. I probably should have done this one first, actually. I don't know. I'm figuring it out. I know, unlike everything else, when you do use these on cottonwood, they generally don't get so hot they burn your fingers and kind of take them off. There we go. That's what I was going through. And it got it in 2 stages. That went pretty good. So I think I'm going to go ahead and give this guy some feet. Try to dig out the feet, you know. Heck, we ain't even been on here an hour. So let's go ahead and give him like just some little legs, little stilt legs down in here. I don't have to get too carried away on detail, but it would be kind of nice to dig them out just a little bit. Let's do that. I think that I'll use this one for that. Kind of dig it out. Good from there. Good from broke. He's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Let me zoom out a little bit for this, okay? I can dig his legs out a little bit. Now look. Come out all right. Not too bad, not too good. Somewhere in the middle. I think that's where we'll be. Something like that. Yeah. I can't complain. I'm pretty happy with that, all in all. I don't know if, I definitely don't want to try to hit that with a sanding pad to take off like the little hairs and stuff, because I'm going to paint it. But I'm thinking I might just go ahead and get a striker or a lighter and use the gas and kind of clean this up a little bit. But it's not, at the same time, it's just not that bad. Here, let me zoom out all the way. It's just not that bad. I mean, there's a few places in there, and in the end, if you were going to paint it, I think you'd just paint right over them and it wouldn't hurt anything. Probably rub them off. I mean, it is cottonwood bark. It's not like it's rocks. You know, it's pretty soft. But that's pretty cool. I like that. I mean, I like the idea of the piece, and especially when it's painted in there. I think I'm just going to go for it as is. And I mean, in fact, I might start painting it now. You guys don't have to stick around and watch, but I'll go ahead and do it live. But I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of red stuff on there. Hey, Woodchucker, what's going on? Tim List, Billy Shoemate, Happy Carmudgeon, Matthew. What's up? Michael S. Super Fan. Glad to see you guys. Heck yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and paint this dude. What is it? How long have I been on here? 60 minutes? Yeah, 60 minutes. All right. Whatever. Hold on. Let me do that. Get the red, get the red. Get the red, get the red, get the red on the head. Get the red. I can turn off this thing. Yeah. I'm sure it looked good just like that. I could just leave it like that, but not to me. And you could probably dye it, but I don't know. You know, I don't care. If it looks like crap, I'll give it away. Somebody will be happy with it. You know? Is that positive? Is that kind of positive thinking? I mean, I have the tendency to think that it probably is, you know, or, you know, I don't care, which should probably be more accurate. I don't care, you know. Eric Karen said it, and Kyle Hall said it. In fact, Kyle Hall couldn't believe I brought up that Eric Karen said it. Don't matter how ugly a carving is, somebody will buy it. So if it don't come out all right, don't come out all right. I mean, it is what it is. Somebody go, oh no, you're messing it up with the paint. What's wrong with this guy? Is he stupid? Yeah. As a matter of fact, I am. I'm stupid. Well, that's all right, you know. It's going to look okay. Maybe. I mean, if I really hate the paint job, I'll mail it to my congressman or something, you know. I don't know. Me and the guys said we get together and get you this gift. That is so hideous. Yes, that's why we gave it to you. I want to show you what we really think. But in actuality, that's coming out pretty good, I think. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Which is right 99.999% of the time. Unless there's a woman around. Then you just guys just know you're just wrong. Just accept it. You know, it's not a big deal. You've been wrong before. Just ask your wife. Way good. Just get through life better if you just embrace it, you know. Oh, I had the thought of, heck, I'll just dump some of this paint on it. It'll make it go faster. You can imagine what that was probably going to look like. Yeah, I don't know about this red, but I'm okay with it. And I'm trying to avoid where the black and orange goes. Just so I'll be able to do them. And they typically have some dark lines in black, kind of just in their feathers. But I'm not worried about that. This is really bringing out the carving detail, that red paint is. You don't see a whole lot or any cottonwood bark being painted. I think it's looking pretty good. And then make it more apt to be something somebody would want to buy. You know, it might be, I mean, you're going to have the guy that can, or the guy or gal that sees the art in it and the beauty of it unpainted and just the wood in by itself, the wood by itself. But most people, it's got a pop. You know, that's why JoJo Siwa was so famous. You know, I mean, wore all them crazy colors and danced and chewed gum and spit all over the place. You know, I mean, because she was colorful. You know, that was it. I remember the baby boss lady. Man, she must have had like 300 bows. It was crazy. She was JoJo all the way. I don't know if she goes by JoJo anymore. I don't know. Probably just Joe. Or Jim or Bill or something like that. I'm not really sure. I haven't followed her. Somebody might say, well, how do you know he's not a she? Well, she used to be a she, therefore she was she. I don't know. What's your pronouns? He, man, chainsaw carver. Oh, well, that explains a lot. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. As my old buddy Ronnie Ray Shell would say. That's looking pretty good. Yeah. Hey, we got some colorful poop. Heck yeah. We like that. Nothing wrong with that. Heck yeah, we got some toilet paper, TP. Man, this is looking awesome. Okay. If I could just get a few more aliens and toilets, life would be grand. Okay, getting pretty close on this red. And it dries fast enough that by the time I get done with this tail, I'll be able to do the black. I don't even care if it's super thin, you know. It definitely made it pop. Just like that. A little crazy man brushing job there. Not the boss lady. You guys have seen her. You know, if she's painting something, you might check back in a couple hours, you know. With me, I'm outside the lines and it looks real rough, but it's done in 10 minutes, you know. I got the patience of a squirrel. See how that look. Yeah, I don't care about it being too much in there. I kind of like the lines. I think I would like to get tighter to the wood a little bit, even if it does run a little bit. At least in there. All right, let's clean that out and start putting some black on it. Grab a different brush. She has 20 of them in this cut. I'm not going to run out, I can tell you that. But at the end of the live, I got a carving for sale. How about that? When it dries, then I can spray a sealer on it, right? I might Mod Podge this. Just trying some Mod Podge for some other stuff in a spray. And I never used it before. And I might see how it looks on it. I mean, I don't know. Some of you guys that know and gals would know. I don't know how it would look versus like a spray clear, because that's all I use on something like this. I use a spray clear or I have used my the PPG non-tinted clear coat that I use on this too, on the bark, but not much. I have not done much of that heavy clear coat on the bark. And I think the reason more than anything is the few times I've done it, it gives, where it pools, it kind of stands out. And I just don't think it, I mean, that's just not what I'm going for. I don't want it to stand out. This is where I get myself in trouble. Trying to finish these things, especially painting. Oh, got a little bit of black on the beak. See if I can't clean that off with something else. Here we go. Let's use this one. Well, anyway, thin nothing else, I thinned it out. And that'll help too. Okay, let's get it brown for the legs. And then by then that will settle enough that I can prematurely put some orange on there and smear my black in it. How about that? That's looking pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. Let's see. There's the orange. There's the brown. First brown. We ain't gonna make no brown. Brown would be good. Brown would probably be a little too dark. And for those of you that don't know what brown is a color that I invented. And ye shall not get to see it today. However, I do not have a patent on it. Hint, hint. And this is probably too light, honestly. It don't look bad. At least I don't think so. In my opinion, it's the only one that matters, right? Who this guy think he is? I'm the Pope. Oh, didn't know. Just kidding. He thinks he's a god. He's the Pope? No, Prince. He died. No, Prince Charles. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. All right, that looks pretty good. Who's on second? No, what's on third? All right, so we got some orange. We'll be happy with this guy. At least I'll be happy with this guy. You guys might hate it. But it's crazy. You get as many likes on a piece that's almost completed like this as you got while you were carving it. And I think that's kind of fun. Let's do the orange. Hey, what we got? Ice cream, heck yeah. I don't think we have any, Billy. At least nothing I want to eat. Not here. Too bad. No, they get like that fancy stuff that nobody wants it. Heck, this is almost like a fluorescent or something. I hope it dulls out when it dries. That's bright. Maybe if I try real hard to spread it, it'll be just right. It kind of looks like if I thin it out, it'll probably be okay. Yeah, that's coming out good. I like it. So we did another bear holding a heart, the second one I've made now, and we did a little bear holding a tree. And I mean, that bear was tiny, bear cub. I mean, he'd be like not much older than a newborn, his size, and it's just super cute. And that's the stuff. I've been trying to do 2 things a day. Yeah, except for tomorrow. I can't do anything tomorrow like that tomorrow. But, okay, there was a run spot of red that I want to try to dissipate that. But other than that, that looks good. And that's I haven't painted bark yet. I'm not saying it's a good idea. It's probably not. It's kind of a run. I got carried away here too. But anyway, that's that. I say that's that. I mean, it looks pretty good. At least not too bad for government work, you know. Can't please everybody, but you can please the important person, and that's you. And also your creator. You have the opportunity to do that too. Okay, let's grab this thing and get a straight on view of him real quick. Here, we'll set him up here behind another piece of, I better do that. a second. Trying to get him to stand up straight. Okay. Zoom out. Yeah, that's the piece. And that's why I wanted to use that big piece. To me, that was worth using that big piece for. Because that'd be like a standoff piece. Something somebody would hang out in their house. Hey, Chucker, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it come out pretty good, man. Let's see. Well, no matter what Caleb says, well, he says it looked good. So I'll take it. Heck yeah. Hey, Dogmatic Desperado. Welcome, man. Thank you. But that's what we got. That right there looks pretty good. Okay, guys, so I'm going to leave y'all alone. I'll see y'all back Friday. I think Chucker does Wednesday evenings. I know we'll be looking for Creation Dust 777 tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be watching for him to be on. And then Wowie comes on at 5. And that was a hard one for me because I'm usually by 5, I'm pretty busy getting ready for our Wednesday evening. So I don't get to catch Checker either that time, Wednesdays. But you know, that's it. You got to praise God sometime. And that's the way it goes. You know, we do it in the congregation just like we would do it. We do it in our own house, but we do it in a congregation. That's very important. Do not forsake our meeting together. Anyhow, that's what we got, guys. I'll leave y'all alone, and we'll catch you back Friday, and we'll catch you guys on some chats. Appreciate you being here with me on this piece. It was kind of fun little piece to make. Come back when you can stay later, yes.